What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Kaiju Cave. Today I'd like to do a discussion video with you guys on what new titans may show up in Godzilla vs. Kong. And just to let you guys know right off the bat, I left out monsters that were just totally unrealistic, like let's say Orga or Megaguirus, things like that. Monsters that just couldn't possibly be in the Monsterverse because it would be too unrealistic. Also, keep in mind the monsters that are on the list have to coincide with Monarch's list of titans that have been identified across the world. So, even though we know the titans as a specific name, like I'll use Anguirus or let's say Baragon, for example, we know those are, the Toho names for the monsters, but they may have a different name in the Monsterverse, for instance, like Baphomet or Scylla. So I keep that in mind too when you're looking at the list, that the titans that will show up may have, they could have their original Toho names, but they're more than likely going to be ones that are already on the list identified by Monarch scientists that are scattered across the world. So, without me continuing to ramble on, let's go ahead and get started. I think, honestly, the titans that will show up in Godzilla vs. Kong, the most likely ones are going to be, obviously Godzilla and Kong are gonna be there. Other potential inhabitants on the island, but I think, quite possibly, I think the Skullcrawler is going to make a return. I honestly think that potentially the Muto is going to make a comeback. I do say, though, at the end of Godzilla vs. Kong, a cool ending would be Godzilla and Kong teaming up to fight a horde of Skullcrawlers. That would be really cool. But I think that Anguirus is a good candidate. I think that Anguirus has the strong possibility to show up in the Monsterverse. We saw the homage to the bones at the explosion, Godzilla's home, on Godzilla King of the Monsters. I think Mando would be a good candidate because of Atlantis. Baragon would be another good potential. Baragon seems like a really realistic monster that could show up. Also, Varan is another monster that I think could potentially show up in the Monsterverse, be a good candidate. And one that I've been really wanting to see, Larry Crouch did a really good art work on it, is King Caesar. I'd love to see King Caesar in Godzilla vs. Kong. These are monsters that I don't think will show up in Godzilla vs. Kong. I think Mothra is probably not going to make a return. Rodan is definitely not. At the end of Godzilla King of the Monsters, it said that Rodan went to sleep dormant in a volcano in Fiji, so I don't think either one of those two will come back. These titans right here are possible, but definitely not likely. Mechagodzilla could show up. Strongly don't think he will, but it's possible. And the titans that may make a return that we've seen in Godzilla King of the Monsters, Behemoth has a strong possibility. Scylla also is another one that has a strong possibility. These are titans that were in Godzilla King of the Monsters that at the end said we're converging upon Skull Island, so we'll have to see. Methuselah is definitely another one that I think we'll see a little more of that I was really disappointed we didn't get to see enough of in Godzilla King of the Monsters. So I'd really like to see that. And then I think the definite no-shows, the absolute definite, because it would be way too unrealistic, Destroyer. Destroyer's not going to be in there. It doesn't make sense. Mecha King Ghidorah, it would be too cliche. It would be too unrealistic that the humans could have that kind of technology. Even though they got Ghidorah's head, this movie, we don't know the timeline of how long it takes place after Godzilla King of the Monsters, but I'm thinking it's immediate. Biollante is another unrealistic one. Mechani-Kong, definitely highly unlikely that Mechani-Kong will be in there. Biollante would be more so than him. But I don't know. Just let me know your thoughts down below. Do you guys agree with the list? Do you guys agree with the Titans that I have broken down in this video? Like I said, let me know your thoughts down below. All right, take care. Kaiju Freaks out.